Liger versus tiger. Who is the strongest big cat in the world and can win a fight? Ligers and tigers are the two highest-ranking gorgeous animals in the big cat family. Ligers are now the largest big cats, although they are a result of a cross between a male lion and a female tiger. In comparison, the Siberian tiger is the largest subspecies of tigers and is relatively pure. It is quite doubtful that ligers are animals that would exist naturally in the wild, because lions and tigers inhabit different parts of the globe. A small number of ligers can now be found in zoos all around the world as a result of accidental or deliberate human intervention. The Siberian tiger, the largest of the big cats, is a symbol of strength, majesty, and power. Panthera tigris, also referred to as Amur tigers, is one of the most beautiful animals on the planet. Size and description. The liger is a huge animal with a broad head and a massive muscular body. Ligers typically have sandy or dark yellow fur covered in the characteristic, barely perceptible stripes that they received from their mother. The liger generally has a more lion-like appearance, including the manes of the males, despite significant variations in fur color being known, including white when their mother is a white tiger. A liger's mane can grow quite large on certain individuals, yet it is not uncommon for a male liger to have no mane at all. A liger's mane is not as large or as impressive as that of an adult lion. The liger may also inherit the spots found on the backs of tigers' ears, as well as the tufted fur around their chins, in addition to their stripes, which are most evident around their hindquarters. Males can reach up to 9.8 to 11.8 feet, 3.0 to 3.6 meters long. Standing, the liger shoulder height averages around 4 feet, 1.21 meters. The largest extant liger weight naturally fluctuates around 922 pounds, 418.2 kilograms. Compared to Bengal tigers, Siberian tigers are bigger and have thicker, more colorful fur. The body is reddish and has thin, transverse black stripes covering it. Like fingerprints, each tiger's pattern is unique. No two tigers have the same pattern. Tigers use black stripes as a disguise. Black-white spots behind black-colored ears have a different purpose. When a tigress moves along the forest, she places her ears in such a way so following cubs can see them perfectly. The winter coat is brighter and thicker. Wide pads help the tiger to move on deep snow. The Siberian tiger averages about 11 feet, 3.3 meters in length, with a tail measuring 3 feet, 1 meter. Adult male Siberian tigers can weigh up to 700 pounds, 320 kilograms. Range and habitat. Just like tigers, ligers relish in swimming, and they are quite sociable like lions. They are more like a two-in-one type of animals. Ligers exist and survive better when in captivity due to the fact that their parents do not coexist in the same environment, leaving them partially homeless. Though it's believed that in the past, lions and tigers dwelled in the same environment and there were ligers in the wild, no one knows for certain how true that is, because ligers are distinctly bigger than their parents. A large portion of the Korean peninsula, northeastern China, eastern Siberia, and as far west as Lake Baikal were once home to Siberian tigers. However, one of the saddest facts about Siberian tigers is that their habitat is much smaller than it once was, and there are now far fewer of these incredible beasts left in the wild. Today, Siberian tigers mostly inhabit the coniferous scrub oak and birch forests of the Russian Far East, a narrow strip from Khabarovsk Krai south into Primorsky Krai, around the Sukhoty-Alin mountain range. Siberian tigers have very small populations in China and possibly North Korea. They prefer dense woodlands, and their distribution is largely determined by the availability of food sources. Food habits. The tiger, like the other felines in the world, is a carnivore, which means that it hunts and consumes other animals for food. Although it is only speculation, it is believed that the liger's diet in the wild is similar to a tiger's, consisting primarily on larger herbivores like deer, wild boar, and possibly small or vulnerable Asian elephants. Although they typically consume 200 pounds, 90 kilograms of meat per day in captivity, it is said that a liger could easily consume 100 pounds, 45 kilograms of food in one sitting. The liger's large, tremendously powerful jaw is equipped with sharp, pointed teeth that are perfect for tearing into flesh. Ligers also have very muscular bodies and sharp claws, which also help them to catch and eat their prey. These tigers, like the rest of the tiger subspecies, are carnivores who only eat meat. They are expert hunters who will travel long distances in search of prey. Their hunting method primarily involves stealth. They approach their prey as close as possible and leap upon it to capture and kill it. These cats consume a wide range of foods, including elk, wild boar, various deer species, rabbits, salmon, and others. Behavior. Despite their enormous size and the fact that their parents are two of the planet's most ferocious predators, the liger is known to be a relatively gentle and docile animal, especially when interacting with handlers. They have been reported to be slightly confused as to whether they are lions or tigers, because their most bewildering characteristic is that they appear to love water. In the wild, tigers frequently enter the water to catch prey or to cool off in the heat, so they are naturally good swimmers, which the liger appears to have inherited. Lions, on the other hand, dislike water, and it is commonly reported that it takes some time for the liger to adapt to its water-loving lifestyle. Another oddity is that the liger appears to make both lion and tiger sounds, but its roar is more like a lion's. Siberian tigers are solitary creatures who do not tolerate the company of others. They are extremely territorial, with territories that can span hundreds of square miles. Tigers use scent marking, often with urine, to mark their territories. Because they are nocturnal, they spend the majority of their time active at night. The cats patrol their territories and hunt for prey at night. Now that we have finished the comparison between the two felines, it is time to find out who would win a fight between these two cats. Liger versus Siberian tiger. Because of their size, there is no reason to believe that the liger would not be the dominant predator. However, ligers are bred in captivity. Because ligers retain the more docile, friendly, and curious nature of lion cubs throughout their lives, the wealthy will keep one as a freaking house pet. We don't know how they'd fare in the wild, because each liger was born and raised in captivity, never having to hunt or fight. But can they fight if pushed to it? Yes, of course. Although only one keeper has been reported to have been mauled to death by a liger, it is clear that ligers can kill when the time comes. If all things are equal, the liger, with several hundred pounds of sheer muscle, could absolutely dominate and kill the tiger. But let's look a little more in detail. This means that the bite force of the two is almost the same, around 1,000 psi. Their speed is also almost equal, at around 65 kilometers per hour, although the liger seems heavier and clumsier. Although the length of their claws is almost equal, ligers are known to have larger canines, around 12 centimeters, while the canines of a Siberian tiger grow to a maximum of 7.5 centimeters. If we talk about agility, then there is no doubt that there is no need for analysis at all. The Siberian tiger is much more agile than the liger. Also, due to their wild genes, the Siberian tiger will be more aggressive than the liger. There is no doubt that the Siberian tiger has dominated the food chain since ancient times and is an excellent hunter. Ligers are captive animals who have no notion of hunting. Many people believe that ligers will easily defeat tigers or lions, and there is some truth to this. Ligers' massive size and weight make them easy to win. However, experts believe that the chances of the liger beast defeating the wild Siberian tiger are quite small. However, the tiger still has a chance to win this game because it is up against a Siberian tiger who has grown up in the zoo. The Siberian tiger was discouraged by its huge size and fierce appearance, so the latter did not have the courage to test its true strength and ran with its tail clamped. The primary advantage of wild Siberian tigers in combat is that they are more aggressive, fierce and agile than ligers, as well as having greater endurance and hunting abilities. In the end, in my opinion, the chances are quite equal, I would say. The fight could end in either direction. What is your opinion? I'm waiting for an answer in the comments. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button. Until next time, farewell.